Alright, what we're going to do here is an annotated replay. So what that means is we're going to watch a replay from my perspective, and I'm going to give thoughts on what I did right and what I did wrong, what I could do better. And so hopefully that will be helpful for both of us. So what I'm playing here is Xin Zhao. Just turn that sound down a little bit. And Xin Zhao, he can play top lane, or he can also jungle, and those are his two most common roles, and then sometimes he can mid too, if that is necessary. Usually you want to start boots and health pots on Xin, although there are many potential starting items that you could choose. The reason for boots is that you want to be able to clear your jungle more quickly, so having more movement lets you move between camps more quickly, and it lets you get closer to the enemy team so that you can kill them. So just a little first blood there, not a big deal. It does give the team an advantage, obviously the other team an advantage. Here I see that they're all in our jungle, so I want to counter jungle them a little bit. So they're thinking about stealing my red, so that was why I was in their jungle, to try to steal their red. And they changed their mind and decide to start blue first instead. As far as what masteries I like to run on him, I often do move speed on him if I'm a jungler, so he can move more quickly, so you can get 4.5% additional move speed from Quince, and then do armor pen or flout 80 damage on him. And so I see that they're all here, so we can't take the red, but we do steal his race to send him back a little bit. So that's pretty good. And then don't try for the red or anything like that. It's way too scary and dangerous, so he's just wasting time killing this. And then I go ahead and do my blue. He's starting his red. With Xin, he has a bunch of different abilities which are somewhat complementary, and I'll discuss them. He has a Q, which scales off bonus attack damage, so stacking attack damage is pretty effective at boosting the damage of his Q. He has a W, which scales off of AP, the passive part of it does. So what that does is every third attack, you get life steal, or sorry, you get flat health added back to you. And the more AP, the greater that is. So I'm going around here to see if I can come from behind, because Morg is pushing pretty hard. So I'm trying to gank her. She flashes and I miss my auto attacks, so we can't get her. But that's okay. One of my autos hit a creep, so that's just a little some misclicking for myself. So I was talking about his heal, which what it does is every third attack you get some amount of health restored to you. That also scales off of attack speed. So the faster you attack, the quicker you can get your third attack. So you can. I was thinking about trying to gank mid here, but it's pushing, so I can't get in there. Anyway, so the faster you attack, the more quickly you get to your third attack, and then you can. Here I'm just kiting to get my cooldowns back up so I don't die. And I almost died there. One more attack from the lizard would have killed me. Anyway, so yeah, the faster you attack, the more quickly you get your third attack, so you can heal. I ran all the way back here because they said that Morg was missing or something, so I ran to this bush in case they had warded my red. The active part of his W, that scales off of damage and also attack speed, and it gives you a flat bonus to attack speed. Sorry, a percentage bonus to attack speed. So obviously the more attack speed, the more it benefits you, and also the more damage you do, the greater it increases your DPS. So stuff like crit, blot damage, and attack speed all increases W. His E scales off of AP, and it's a gap closer, and his R scales off of AD directly, and also HP, because it gives you flat magic resistant armor for each opponent you hit, so the more health you have, the greater that bonus is going to be. Here I'm thinking about ganking top because it's pushing and he's slightly overextended, so I'm just gonna come around from the back. So I'm coming this way instead of up the lane because he has less time to react this way. So I just wait for these creeps to go in so I can hopefully not auto attack a creep this time. So I Q here, and he gets too far away, and then she gets like lag or DCs or something and just dies. That happens. It's like pretty frustrating when that happens. So here I could go back to my jungle, but it's more efficient for me to farm this because you get more gold and XP from farming minions. So I'm just doing that. I'm a little bit worried about Warwick ganking, but he has no mana, so like it's just gonna be Warwick with a potentially a red buff trying to slow me. I get his flash out there. He didn't need to flash. He could have just walked away, but I guess he was pretty low and like worried that I would just be able to kill him. So I just pushed this in and then go back to my jungle because Nid's coming back, and I'm not gonna get another wave worth of farm. I'm thinking about ganking mid. I see that it is not pushing, but I also see Warwick, so I go in on Warwick and do nothing. Unfortunately, my red buff wore off right as we were trying to fight him. If I had stayed with him, I think we could have killed him. So instead of running away, I should have stayed with him because Morg was pretty low. I just wasn't paying attention there. I continue clearing my camps here. There are a couple ways that you can build Xin. The first way you can build him is try to go get into their back lane and kill their squishies. And the problem with that is that you can get kited pretty easily because you only have one gap closer and potentially a flash as well. And once you go in with your gap closer, your E, and you slow them, they can just stun you with CC or slow you with CC and then walk back and kite you, and you can't do anything. And there are a couple of ways you can get around this and still do that role, that is getting in on other squishies. And the way you do that is you can build extra move speed. So some things that do that are Zeal, which gives you bonus move speed. Also Banshee's Veil, which reduces CC. And Merc Treads also reduce CC. Those are ways you can get around their CC to stick onto their backline. And also the move speed bonus items. And the third way you can stick onto the backline is by getting a slow. So like Frozen Mallet, Trinity Force, those will all help you stick to squishies. So if that's your goal, that it's important to build those three things: move speed, slow, and CC reduction. So like Merc Treads, Banshee's Veils, things like that. The other thing that might be important if you want us to do that is sometimes you can just get blown up. So if you stack health and resistances, that can prevent you from getting blown up. The second thing you can do is try to be more tanky and absorb all their CC, so that your team can focus the other team. And you just have to look at what your composition is and what their composition is to decide, what you want to do. And that's one of the things I like a lot about Xin, is that he has a fair amount of flexibility. I'm just doing jungle here because there's nothing I can gank. All the lanes are pushing, so I could either counter jungle here or jungle. And I think counter jungling is actually very effective, but you have to buy wards because if they come after you, they can kill you. So the drawback is you have to buy wards, but the benefit is the enemy jungler gets set really, really behind, and it's really hard to deal with. They can try stealing your jungle, but if you get them behind, that's really dangerous for them to do because they're like really squishy and they don't have any items and things like that. Here I'm thinking about brush ganking MF and Taric here. So I know it's pushing, but what I'm going to do here is come up through this bush and then dive on them, but our team engages right away. So I have to run up through this bush right away and go in on them. So I just flash here, and then I fuck up. But that's okay. I couldn't have died her any harder because I was just taking too much Tiger aggro and our team was too low. So I just sit around here because I see that Mord is coming, and I know that he can dive him. So I wait for him to go first to take Tower aggro before I go in, and I steal the kill from him because I'm like that. No, I'm usually, I don't really do that often. I just didn't want Mord to take too much tower damage and get killed by Warwick. So that's why I stole the kill. I run all the way back here so that Warwick can't like ulti me and kill me. Anyway, I was talking about building more tanky, and the way you do that is you need to stack health and resistances and CC reduction, and you sort of like go in on their front line, or if you can get to the squishies, great, and you try to absorb as much CC as possible and try to get them to go really hard after you, and then they just blow everything on you, and hopefully you survive. So, and you just basically mitigate all their spells and stuff like that so that your team can do a lot of damage. Things that are important for that are things like Sunfire Cape, so you can do damage even when you're stunned. You have to get your R off pretty effectively so that you can stack up a bunch of magic resist and armor. Also, CC reduction is important, so Banshee's Veil, Merc Treads, things like that are pretty important. You have to look at their team, so if they're stacking, if they're stacked AD, then Randuin's Omen is really important. Here I'm running down bot. I know that we can kill them because we're stronger, and also they're getting pretty low, and they can't really fight here because like they don't have that much room to maneuver. So I just wait for them to go, and then I'm trying to get on Warwick, but I can't reach him, so I just go on Taric instead, and I ulti to push out her to stop her ulti, and then I just go on her, and I know I can just tower dive her until she's dead. So we pick up these kills, take the turret, and we know that Jace and Mork are pushing mid pretty hard, and that's right, she should definitely be pushing mid hard because she can't do anything. She can't like come stop us from dragoning or anything. So that's definitely, you just try to get whatever advantages that you can have. So I'm just waiting for Mord to tank it, and then we're going to go on a dragon. And you just use WQ, get to heal up a little bit, and make sure you smite it at the right time. And I did not smite it at the right time.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
But there was no chance that they were going to steal it there. Okay, so here our options are to continue a jungling, or to go back. And I decide to continue jungling for the moment to get some more gold. I can buy a bunch of items here. And here I'm thinking that since we're pretty far ahead, I'd like to just get on their back line, because they're not going to be able to kill me that easily because they don't have that much damage. The only one that's farmed on their team is Mork. Like, no one else has any damage at all. And this was pretty dumb. Like, I saw Warwick, but I didn't see Warwick, but I should have been able to see him behind me. And I just get more killed. So that was pretty dumb. What was smart there, though, was realizing that she can't ulti both of us, so I just split up instead of staying close to try to go back the same way that he does, so she can only get the ulti on one person. And there's no way we're going to kill them, so. They're pushing bot tower, that's right, because there's a bunch of us mid. So I stay mid while the other two of us go bot, and just try to get some farm here. I know that Warwick's around here, and so I just play it like a little far back so I don't get ultied or just get messed up by him, because it's a 2v1 here. I'm worried here that like he's gonna go steal blue, and he probably should have tried to do that because Ward was dead, and I guess there was 3 of them top. I didn't know that, but like he knew that, so that would have been a good choice to do. So I run right after like someone pinged it. I'm like, oh shoot, I have to go to blue right away so it doesn't steal it, and I run to it. I didn't have smite, so it would have been like pretty bad. Oh, I did have smite. Okay. So I just take blue. It's not like anyone else on our team can use it that well. I mean, Ward can use it. It gives them CDR, and Nid can use it. But they don't really want to come down here, so like, whatever. We just I don't give it to them. I see that Nid is gonna die, so I run up and try to save her. And my idea here is they can just dive her, so I just go on him and then ulti Taric back, and he has to flash. So that worked out pretty well. I mean, I'm pretty sure that she would have died because they could have totally like gone all the way up hard on her, and she probably would have died. Although she might have been able to get away with her W if she went to cat form. So I just continue farming. I was thinking about farming wolves there, but I thought that if I did that, they could just push this tower down, so I just wait by the tower to make sure that they don't do that. And I see Nid TPing in, so I'm like, okay, she's TPing in, so I don't need to stay by the tower anymore, so I can just do this, get my wolves. Here, we're like very far ahead. You can see we're up over almost 5k gold here. And I haven't bought any items, so I have like a ton of gold saved up. So I could have just gone back to base, but I think it's more efficient here to farm my jungle. And so that I keep doing that. There's nothing really that I can help out with in like team fightings. Like, we want to take these turrets pretty soon, and Nid is going to keep split pushing. So like, we want to just keep putting pressure on the lane, so they have to either 4v4 us, which is bad for them because they're stronger, or they lose towers from Nid if they try to 4v5 us, and we just have to play passive. So that's sort of like the general idea behind what we're doing. I see that Mord is in trouble, so I run to help him as soon as I can. He turns her into the binding, so he dies, and I try to save him and get killed. And I shouldn't, or I blew my flash when I didn't need to, and I turned around. I also went back in, so like, I could have survived there, and I also shouldn't have tried to save him. Or, well, I shouldn't have gone in after he got binded, basically there. I could have saved him if the binding didn't hit, and we could have potentially turned it around, but when he got binded, I should have realized, okay, he's dead, there's nothing I can do, they can focus him too fast, and if I go in, they'll just kill me, and my team wasn't there. So, what's pretty amusing here is it's a 4v2, and they're still, like, pretty scared of him. So, Nidalee was split pushing top, so, like, she doesn't really help us in any team fights, but that's okay. I mean, that's kind of what she's doing, and they successfully kill them here. Oh, does he get him? Okay, he flashed and then probably dies too. Anyway, so here I'm considering my items, and I again said that I want to just stick to their team, so I'm going for Eternity Force to get that move speed and slow bonus. It gives you a 12% move speed once you get the Eternity Force. So I'm just trying to get into their line and stick in it. The only problem is that like Morg and Target can stun me, and Warwick can ulti me. So I should probably consider something like, again, Banshee's Veil, or the one that gives you Cleanse, Quicksilver Slash. Well, it's even better than Cleanse. It lets you get rid of Warwick's ulti, so it's like really good. I just left these so I could help Mordekaiser. It did slow respawn of my red, but I think it's usually worth it to try to help out your team if you think you can get there in time. So here I do. Let's see how much damage you do. I do like a fair amount of damage, especially against their team. That like no one on their team has armor except for Morgana. So there's like nothing's gonna give them damage reduction. Here, like I don't really think I can kill Morgana. She has like 3 levels on me, and like she has like probably her items are like pretty comparable in strength. Like she's pretty comparable in strength with items. So they're trying to gank Nidalee, and I see that. I know that they're 2 tops, so I'm going for Dragon because it's free. If there's 2 top and we have 4 here, like there's no way that they can stop that. So we get a free Dragon basically because of its split push. And if they want to try to fight us, we'll just kill them. So the only thing I'm worried about is getting stunned by Tark and then getting ulti. So I just make sure if they were just going after her, I stuck on Dragon so it doesn't reset or anything like that. Here, we can totally dive them, so I'm thinking about going around. First I check the wolves to see if I can steal those, but there's nothing there. So I'm thinking about going around here, and I'm just waiting for our wave to push, and so I'm just thinking, okay, we're gonna dive if they stay, and they don't stay, so we get the free tower. So while they're doing that, I figured this out, obviously. I'm like, okay, I don't want Warwick to push in our turret or something like that. So I do that. I did see him going top, so I was worried that he was going to steal our blue. So I just clear this really quick, and then don't try to do another wave, just run to our blue. And I also know that like Warwick's going to kill Nidalee. It's pretty obvious. So she shouldn't have like gone back into this bush. She should have, just not done that. Like, I think I pinged her too, and like so like whatever. I mean, it happens. I try to get on Morgana, but like I realized she can just like binding me and kill me. So I just ulti her back. I probably shouldn't have ultied there. I dodged her first skill shot here, and I should have just gone right away after this. But I waited a little too long. So she uses her ulti, and that's okay. Like I should have been like, okay, I got her ulti, that's good. And I keep chasing her. Like I probably could kill her if I didn't get hit by all these bindings. So she's just waiting in this bush, and I'm trying to like cut her off. But and I chase her too like hard, and like obviously, yes, she could just do this. So like that was pretty dumb. And the problem there again was that I didn't have enough move speed. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get more move speed so I can stick on people and just try to complete my Eternity Force. So I get items that let me do that. I don't really need mana, so I just get the extra AP to do a little more damage with my E and to get a little bit more sustain with my W. Okay, I'm just gonna speed this up. Oops. Okay. I respawn here, and what we basically just need to do here is focus down their towers and let Nid keep split pushing, even though we don't really need her to split push. If like we U5, we'd win, but like this makes Ward's ulti a little weaker, so that's a consideration. And here Warwick gets caught, so just go as hard as I can on him. And he ultis for some reason, like he should have just, I guess like he just wanted to get damage on easy, but like he realized he was dead. MF was bot, so we get free turrets now. Morgana is going top to try to prevent the split push, but like she probably should have just stayed here because we can push in their turrets. So that's the idea here. I see that she's still top, so I want us to try to push in these turrets. I know that we can dive him pretty easily, so I just make sure I just go hard. I realize I have tower aggro, so I run back here to drop the tower aggro. And then I just focus down this turret, getting out of the way of MS ult, and then I go on her, so she has to flash, and I see that everyone on their team is up, so we gotta run away. There's no way we can do this. She just dies for like no reason, but that's okay. Here they chase us like way too hard, so we just keep kiting them, and then once they get out of position, like Warwick, we just kill him. So here we just gotta keep running, and then again this just keeps happening. I wait for them to do this again, and then go in on them, and yeah, that's just overextending. You know, it happens, and you want to avoid that. Like you're like, okay, everyone's low, let's go get him, and then you get too caught up in the moment and you just die. Here I could have gone back, but I'm like pretty confident their blue is up. I didn't have the timer on it or anything, but like I thought it was worth, you know, wasting a little bit of my time to steal their blue, because its blue buff is pretty strong and gives like a lot of gold and XP, so it's worth it. I should have written down the timer when I stole their blue, just because it's pretty useful. And here I see that our tower is getting pushed, so I make sure this wave gets cleared. Basically, I'll be back up to full health after I do this, so I'm just trying to maximize the efficiency of my time. And I go back here. I probably could have farmed our jungle. That might have been better, but I realized that we're probably going to team fight pretty soon, so I should just get my item, which is Trinity Force, and go back out. I decided to get Wriggle's Lantern, but like, and I was like debating on it for like 30 seconds because like I didn't really think I wanted it, and I'm pretty sure like I didn't need it, because what it does is you get a little bit more sustain. And you clear your jungle a little faster, and you get a free ward, but like it's not really gonna help us that much. Like we don't, like I could just buy the ward if we needed extra wards, which we don't really need. And I should have just gotten a different item. Use the 600 gold for like, I'm not even sure what I should get here. So probably some health items, so like Randuin's Omen or something like that. Start building that. I'll probably get some armor. And here they just surrender because, as you can see, the gold, we're up like 11k gold, so there's no way that they were going to win. And we had their naked inhib, so it was like pretty obvious that it was over, unless we had like an epic throw multiple times. Anyway, so that was our annotated game, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will continue doing more of these.